Hi, welcome back to another quick tarot message. And I had a question this time when I started specifically, and it was how to move on from past energy that no longer serves you. And in tarot, this is like the 8 of Cups. How do you move on from this energy? So I went ahead and I shuffled off screen so that I could cover up all the parts that are not appropriate. And so I'm going to show you as I got the cards, what the answer was that I received. So first of all, I have a rune that a deck that I actually made for myself, and the one that came out for this was Laguz, I believe is how you say it, and it represents lake and water, which is emotions and going with the flow are the kind of the keywords with that. So with that being said, the first card that came out when I shuffled was the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is actually showing that the flow of water, the flow of emotions. And the cups here are representing the new beginning of love, self-love, a new emotional feeling. So if we're moving on from past energy that's not serving you, that would mean bringing love into the situation, especially for yourself, having some compassion for yourself and seeing things from a new perspective, maybe. Which brings me to the second card that came out was the Sun. So positivity. We see sunflowers for growth. We see the little child on the back of a white horse, which shows innocence. And that's kind of like the beginner's mindset. So starting new, having an open mind, having freedom to begin new, and kind of just seeing the positive side of this new situation where you might be headed. So the next 3 cards came out together, and they were the 9 of Cups, the Magician, and the Chariot. So we have the 9 of Cups, which shows some emotional fulfillment. And he's sitting still and seems pretty happy about it. And I take this as a way to say, recognize where you have come from, take stock of what you have achieved. And this helps you move away from that past energy, because sometimes in that past energy, we like to bring up all of the old things that didn't work, how we've been hurt and how we're suffering. But this is more or less saying, like, try to embrace where you are, think about what you have accomplished, and then what is it that you want to accomplish? What is your wish and dream and desires? And then the Magician follows it and saying you have everything that it takes to achieve what it is that you want to achieve. And of course, you don't know how you're going to necessarily get there, but the Chariot here is showing you've got the black and the white. There's always going to be a positive and a negative, but you have what it takes to navigate that next part of your life. So yes, we've all have challenges, and but it's also realizing that if we're here and we're moving into that next phase, we have the ability, we have all of the resources necessary to meet that challenge. So then I was like, well, what's going to help with this challenge of moving into the next phase, leaving the past behind? And I shuffled, and these 3 cards came up. So we have the 7 of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and then we have the 4 of Swords. So looking at the 7 of Pentacles, this person has invested a lot. We might have invested a lot in that initial phase of our life, or the last place that we're coming from. And we're looking at it and we're wondering, okay, what next? Where do we go from here? And this card here shows there's one pentacle at the bottom. And then if you look here at the Ace of Pentacles, they're holding a new one. And I would say that means focus on one thing at a time. There's a lot that we want to do. We've got all of this new energy and we want to just get going and move on, but focus on one thing at a time, because that one thing always, as you see the mountain through the gate there, you're walking through to a new experience. You're moving into a new phase, and it's going to be another challenge. And the Chariot here is going to remind you that you can navigate that challenge. And then you see the Four of Swords. And I know the Four of Swords sometimes represents meditation, it could be prayer, healing. And you see there's one sword at the bottom of the card. So focusing on one, putting kind of the rest to the side, and just listen to yourself and find out what it is that you think that really might be resonating with you. What is it that speaks to you? What is it that's going to help you kind of find that passion to move forward in a new direction with that kind of positivity, growth, beginner's mind? That's what I'm seeing here. It's kind of loving yourself and realizing how much you have accomplished, and that yes, there's going to be new challenges, there's going to be new phases, there's going to be a new beginning, and it's trying to find the good in it, and what is it about this next phase that's really going to get you excited, and just focusing on one thing at a time. And then of course I asked for one more card at the very end of it. And the last card that came out was actually the Nine of Pentacles, which shows this woman here. She has a hawk or a bird on her hand. And what I love at the bottom is this little snail. And the snail is going at a slow pace, but the snail gets there. And you can see that she's full of abundance. She's got all of these pentacles around her. And she's independent, and I'm not sure if that's something that you might be looking for, is just some independence, but it's achievable as it does show. I mean, and the other thing that I noticed too, a lot of these cards have some yellow on them, which to me, if you are looking into chakras, the yellow is the solar plexus chakra, which indicates having some confidence and some self-confidence. So maybe some self-confidence is something that you're needing to maybe focus on, one of these pentacles down here. But that is kind of what I got for the answer, was how to move on from past energy that doesn't serve you. And that is loving yourself, loving where you are, accepting how you got here, and embracing that you have everything that it takes to make the next step. And you've got guides, you've got a higher divine power that's looking out for you. You got here, you've got this far, so just keep going and doing what you're doing, and find that thing inside of you that brings you back into that excitement, that inner child, like ready to go and see what the next experience might be.